Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have the Wonder Years. This is the brand new 2021 remake of the original series, but done from a black family perspective. And this is takes place in the 1960s, 1968 in Alabama, and and everybody's like, "Oh, how dare they? I mean, remake Wonder Years, that classic sitcom about Kevin and his family from made in the 1980s and 90s, also in the set in the 60s. Um, well, you have to wonder. You have to wonder. You have to realize that it's not somebody going, "Oh, let's just make a black version." It's it's all right. We could. That's the other story has been told. This is another story from a different perspective. It's okay. We'll survive this. And by the way, the first episode and probably more were directed by Fred Savage, who played Kevin in the original Wonder Years. So yeah, this is just sort of a legacy, not a reboot or anything else. It's just a coming of age story featuring a kid at the center of this. And by the way, his name is why can't I find his name? Why didn't I prepare myself better? Gosh, I am bad. Freak. Dean Williams. Wow. Okay. Elisha Williams plays Dean Williams. So yeah, yeah. That's. But hey, it's narrated not by the guy from Home Alone. Why can't I? I'm bad with names today. He was one of the burglars. He was one of the wet bandits, not Joe Pesci. And I normally know his name, and my brain is farting out on me right now. But in this one, Don Cheadle, yes, the War Machine from the Avengers, makes an appearance in this. And by the way, also an Avengers comic book makes a very brief cameo appearance. In 1960s era, I think it's issue 11, I think. Yeah, very early issue, makes an appearance. Uh, One kid is handing the comic to another kid, and it's very clearly, it's not hidden or anything. It's an Avengers comic right in out in the open there. Um, so that's kind of neat. Nice little tie-in. It's not canon, so don't worry about it. It's not. Maybe it is. It doesn't matter. It won't make a difference, even if it is. It takes place in the 1960s. But wouldn't it be great if this was if this was tied into the Avengers? Yeah, I doubt it. This it tells a story of Dean and his family, and it's a comedy. It's humor, but it has very dramatic elements. It's a single camera story, so it's like it's filmed in a sense. It's not like on a sitcom set with stages and multiple cameras and a laugh track or anything else. No, that is not the case. It has a great, obviously, 60s soundtrack, and it in the very first episode, uh, there's a reason why it's set in 1968 because I'm going to ruin it for you. I'm going to spoil this for you, but it the episode pretty much ends with the revelation that Martin Luther King Jr. has been assassinated and how it affects everybody around them. And the second episode follows up on that, showing how man when Dean is kind of upset about something else entirely, people assume that he's upset because of the assassination, and that his people must be hurting right now. And and it turns out that everybody thinks, well, you know what, that C you got, we'll make it an A. Oh, you can't really climb the rope in gym. Oh, I understand you're upset. We'll go have you go see the counselor. Oh, Dean starts taking advantage of weight guilt and to hilarious results. So yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah, it deals with all the things of growing up. He's 12. He has a crush on a girl who is unlike any other. He has an older sister and an older brother. His older brother's in Vietnam, so we don't get to see him. He has an older sister, older teenager, and she is ready to join the movement. She's hanging out with the Black Panthers, and no, not Wakanda. Um, she's hanging out with those that group, and yeah, and so it's stirring up trouble, a little bit of conflict, a little bit of thing within the family. So yeah, this is it's a neat reflection of the culture of the time, taken from a perspective that it doesn't hurt to experience in a very serious way, but also it's very funny. It's very, very funny. I highly recommend this show. It airs on ABC, by the way. It's still running. It's still in the middle of the first season. There's only like 12 episodes on Disney Plus right now. I think they might. I was checking. There might be up to 18 or so episodes in the first season at this point. So I think they're adding them to Disney Plus a little bit behind their actual air date. So we might get the rest of the first season by the time it finishes. But yeah, you know what? I don't do this very often, but I'm going to add this to my watch list. It's worth it. It's funny, and Don Cheadle is just fantastic in his delivery of the voiceover. It's the way it should be. He did the kind of voiceover. He did these sort of. He had a show on HBO with Kristen Bell, and I can't remember the name offhand, like because I suck. But he would often sort of narrate his life, but he'd sort of step out of the scene in a sense, where everybody would freeze around him, and he'd sort of say what he's really thinking rather than what he's pretending to think or say in a certain situation. And he's a lawyer in that series, and there's hints that he might be a lawyer as an adult. Don't know. I think that's part of the thing to discover, but it's a great cast. Let me go through. Elisha Williams plays Dean. Dule Hill plays his dad, who's just the coolest guy. He's a musician, but he's a really chill dad compared to most. Except he's not really into integrating his family with other families. So yeah. There's a little bit of tension. Meanwhile, his wife is trying to get the kids at the black kids to play baseball with the white kids. It's still a thing in 1968. I realize this is a little over 54 years old, and yes, it's half a century, but God, I like to think that we've overcome racism, and in many ways we've just gotten worse. We just put a different name, put a different face on it. But yeah, his mom is played by Saikon Singblo. I'm gonna mess that up. Laura Kariuki plays his sister, and he has Amari O'Neill and Julian Lerner, and yeah, there's Milan Ray plays Kelsey Kisa, the girl he has a crush on. And so yeah, it's a good cast. I had not seen a lot of them before, but I love Don Cheadle, so even though you don't get to see him, you get to hear him, and he is, beyond the great performances, he is for me what makes this, because I just love Don Cheadle. So anyway, yeah, The Wonder Years. Didn't know it would be this good. Why not? Let's pick tomorrow's episode.
338.
338. I only watched two episodes. So, yeah, I probably have another 10 or so to go. Or, well, once the rest of the season happens. Hopefully it's picked up. 338 is what we're looking for. Come on. Oh, okay. Alright, well, this is sort of a documentary, I guess. It's marked red as part of the reality and documentary and whatever types of shows. I think it's about ballet. Because it's called On Point with an E. So, On Point. I think that's what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.